Hi scholars, welcome to your second virtual writing lesson. In our last lesson, I told you that we're going to continue on with an informative writing unit. Very exciting stuff. You were able to take notes on the topic of child labor using two sources. Today, you're going to take that knowledge and you're going to use it to do your own research project. I'll tell you more in a moment. What you will need for today's lesson: your computer, a pencil and paper, and Google Classroom. This slide is from yesterday. I would like you to read through it as a review. So press pause on the screen. What is informative writing? Good. Now, here are some big questions. Now, when we think of informative writing, we think research right away. That's the main word that comes into my head. I'd like you to pause the screen and then read through it. Here is your prompt for your research project. You will choose an animal to research and become an expert on it. You will take notes using at least 3 sources and organize your information into categories. Write an informational report and to teach your classmates all about your animal. Now, look at this note here. If you've completed a research assignment for an animal already, you may choose another animal. So it's up to you. If you've already finished the entire assignment, please choose another animal. If you have taken notes on the note taker, but you have not written the essay on Google Classroom, you can choose to continue on with that animal, or you may choose to become an expert in a new animal. I will tell you your options for your animals in the upcoming slides. Here's today's focus. So, writers don't just write their entire project in one day. They break it up into small parts so it's nice and organized. That way, all of their information will be very clear to their reader. So, our first step today is to pick your animal. Then you will research using your first source, the book on Google Classroom, and read about your animal. I'll take us to Google Classroom. Here are the 4 sources that you can use. So if you choose Komodo dragon, you will click here and it will take you to the Komodo dragon book. Okay? And if you choose the other animals, you will do the same thing. Let's go back. Then you will take notes using the organizer on Google Classroom into 4 categories based on the information you learned in your book. So you'll only be using the information from your book, and I will take you to your organizer. So all scholars will have this. Now you can see I already broke it up into 4 categories based on the patterns I was noticing when I was reading. So I noticed that there was a lot of talk about appearance. So I put that as one of the categories. Now, what does appearance mean? Yep, how they look. And diet, what would we put in this category? Yep, what they eat. And for habitat, what information would go into this category? Yep, where they live. And their behaviors. How they act. That information will go here. The next step after you finish taking your notes is to please not turn it in or click submit, because we will continue to add to our organizers during our next lesson when we use more sources. Because remember, informative writers don't just use one source, they want to become an expert, so they're going to use multiple sources. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, you will get to choose from one of these animals. You may choose a manatee, a prairie dog, a Komodo dragon, or a gray wolf. You don't have to choose now, but you have to choose before you begin your assignment today. What text will we use to take notes? So like I showed you before, you will be using the texts that are on Google Classroom. I've just taken a picture of them here. They are just over here. And let's get started with a little bit of a practice. Okay, so you have two options. You will be able to take notes in your notebook and then type them into Google Classroom later. Make sure if you're doing that, your notebook looks something like this so that you can incorporate those 4 categories that you'll need. Option 2, you can type directly into Google Classroom. Note, there are 4 categories and there are 2 bullet points in each category. You may do more if you find more information on your animal. All right, it is time for us to do an example. Now, the reason I'm doing this example is because I want to show you what effective note-taking looks like. Remember, these notes are just for you. They're not graded and they won't be looked at by your reader, okay? I will take a look at them, but only to see that you're taking effective notes. Now, when we take notes, do we need to write the entire thing from the book and copy it onto our note taker? Nope. We just need to take what is important, and I'll show you an example of that right now. My animal will actually be a giraffe. You might remember this lesson from class, so if you do, this is a refresher for you. So please stay focused and stay tuned. So I have my text, which is about giraffes, and then I have my organizer, where I'm going to keep all my information organized. So I'm going to start off by reading. I usually like to stop at the end of each paragraph to see if there is any information that is important enough to go in my note taker. Do you think basketball players are tall? Oh, I love that hook. If a basketball player stood next to a giraffe, which would be taller? The giraffe, of course. I didn't find anything that I needed to include in my organizer just yet. Giraffes are taller than any other land animal in the world. How tall? Male giraffes can grow between 15 and 19 feet tall. Females can grow between 13 and 16 feet tall. What about their offspring? Offspring are their kids, their babies. You might think they are short. If you think 6 feet tall is short, whoa, that was some juicy info. Now I want to pick the most important thing from here to include. What do you think I should include in my writing or in my organizer? I'm going to put it under appearance because it's how they look, right? So in your organizer, you would do this for your own animal, but I'm going to put here, I don't even need to say giraffes because I know it's about giraffes. So I'm going to say tallest land animal in the world. Maybe I'll put in parentheses how tall they are, so I'll go back to the text. Males can grow between 15 and 19 feet tall and females between 13 and 16. Wow, so maybe I could just say between 13 and 19 feet tall. I don't even need to write between. I could just do 13 through 19 feet tall. Do you see how I kind of shortened that information to make it work for my organizer? That's how you'll be doing it when you read your text. So scholars, that was just a quick little practice. I'd like you to ask me any questions if you have them via Dojo, or you can comment on Google Classroom, make a comment to me so that I get notified. I hope you had a great lesson, and I look forward to seeing all of your graphic organizers on Google Classroom. Good luck and have lots of fun. Bye.